I'm going to be reviewing comic The Seven Deadly Sins. So if you like comics or you just want to see my face while I'm reading it, then stick around. The first issue of this series is titled Eyes of Fire and is written by Daniel Warren Johnson with art by Mark Molinaire and Ariana Coutinho. Let's get into it. So the series is about the seven deadly sins. It's actually called The Seven Deadly Sins, but I don't know why I keep saying series. It's just because I can't say sins. I'm an idiot, okay? Fine. And as you might expect from the title, each issue focuses on one of the seven deadly sins. But instead of diving into the lore behind the sins and giving us like an origin story, the comic instead chooses to focus on what the sin looks like in modern day. We meet a character who embodies that sin and we follow them for the entirety of the comic. For those unaware, the seven deadly sins are wrath, greed, sloth, pride, lust, gluttony, and envy. And in this first issue, we're focusing on envy. Our main character is named Envy, and he's a young man who works at a tattoo shop. He seems like a pretty chill dude who's pretty good at his job. He also seems to be really good friends with his coworker. His name is Stretch. They talk about their days and they hang out after work. You know, all the fun stuff that friends do. We later learn that Envy has a twin sister named Jade, but their relationship isn't a very good one. I mean, it's clear that Envy loves his sister, but she's done some things that have caused him to hold a grudge against her. In flashbacks, we see that their parents favored Jade over Envy, even going as far as to get Envy a cheaper bike for his birthday. This caused Envy to make a wish that Jade would die, and somehow that wish is granted. And ever since then, Envy has felt guilty about it. At the same time, Jade comes back into his life and is now trying to make amends with Envy. She gets a tattoo from him, but I think she does this only to manipulate him. She acts like she has changed and she tries to make Envy feel bad about how he treated her when they were kids. She says, "You were always so jealous of me. That's why you wished for me to die." She's basically trying to make him admit that he was envious of her. Envy doesn't want to admit it, but there's no denying it. He's still envious of his sister, and he hates himself for it. At the end of the issue, he says, "It's not fair. Why did you have to die? Why did I wish for you to die?" I think that last part is directed towards himself, like he's talking to himself and acknowledging his own sin. He knows that he's envious of his sister, but he doesn't want to accept it. He wants to deny it. I think this comic is different from other takes on the seven deadly sins because it's more grounded. Instead of telling a fantasy epic about the origins of the sins, we're seeing how the sins appear in our everyday lives. Now, personally, I prefer this take because it feels more realistic. Like, the sins aren't these fantastical beings that live in this other world. They're with us all the time. They're inside us. So, by making the sins more grounded, the story can feel more relatable. I thought the story was solid. It was easy to understand, and it kept me engaged. There were times where I thought the pacing was off, but overall I thought it was good. I am curious to see how the rest of the issues are going to tackle the other sins. Because if the rest of them are as good as this one, then I'm excited to see where this series is going. As for the artwork, it was decent. I liked the style. It's not something that wowed me or stood out to me as amazing, but it got the job done. And for me, that's good enough for a comic. It didn't distract me from the story, which is what I want in a comic. Also, the colors were nice. I think it added to the tone of the story. For example, in the fight scene, red is used to show blood, and it works well with the idea of wrath. When Envy is thinking about his sister, green is used to emphasize his envy. I thought the color choices were smart and effective. Now, let's talk about the writing. I thought it was fine. I didn't feel anything when I was reading it. Like the dialogue didn't evoke any emotion from me. But again, it got the job done. I could understand what the characters were saying, and I knew what their intentions were, so I guess it's fine. But yeah, it's nothing to rave about. If I had to describe the tone of this comic in one word, it would be heavy. There's a lot of emphasis placed on the guilt aspect of the story. Envy is consumed with guilt. And because of that, he acts out and lashes out at others. He pushes away Stretch when Stretch asks him to go to a party. He also yells at his mother when she tries to talk to him. Guilt is something that drives the plot forward. A lot of the story involves Envy coming to terms with his actions and accepting that he has a problem. It's kind of like a character study. We're studying the character and how they deal with their guilt. Another thing I noticed was the use of symbolism. A lot of the symbolism had to do with Envy's tattoos. At one point he says, "People come to me to cover up their mistakes, their past, things they regret. They want to put it behind them, bury it under new skin." This ties into the idea of guilt. People cover up their tattoos because they want to hide their mistakes. They want to forget about their past. I think this is similar to how Envy wants to deal with his guilt. He tries to cover it up and pretend that it's not there, but it always ends up coming through. And yeah, those are my thoughts on the comic. If you haven't picked it up yet, then I would wait until you can find it at a store near you. The main reason for this is because I hate supporting digital comics. If you're wondering why, check out my other videos and you'll see that I talk about it a lot. But another reason is because if you buy it digitally, you're not helping out your local comic book store. Now, I want to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts on this comic? Do you plan on reading it? What's your favorite deadly sin? Let me know in the comments below. Well, that's about it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then make sure to leave a like. If you're new here and you like what you saw, then consider subscribing. But if you're not new here, then make sure to stay tuned for more videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.